Alright, what's up my people, and welcome to the SN95 Power Channel. We have a messy one today. So, I got the turbo kit back on, took the car out, and did some test pulls, and lo and behold, a transmission fluid line popped out. But, rewind all that, I normally had this cooler front mounted. I had this thing mounted on the front of the car. And since I installed the AC components, I wanted as much airflow going through the front of the car. So I moved this from the front and I put it in the passenger side inner fender. Lo and behold, I took the car out, did some pulls, and I was a little, I did something. It was a brain fart on my side. I should have put a clamp on the bar fitting. I didn't do it. Lo and behold, the line popped off. So get the car back to the house and just drain the remaining trans fluid out of the transmission pan, and it was pinkish. So that was telling me that I had some kind of leak through the trans cooler built into the radiator. So I'm going to bypass the radiator and just run external coolers, but I still got to get all that pink fluid out of the transmission. So we're going to drain the pan first, and then we're going to flush the system. And I'm going to show you how to do that. All right, so I drained a little bit of this already, and you know, when you have this pinkish colorish, that means you're getting some kind of coolant mixed in with your trans fluid. Luckily, I didn't really drive it much, so I'm not too worried about anything being damaged, but I do want to flush all this stuff out of here. So first things first, let's drain it from the pan. I don't know how many quarts is left in here, but normally this is a deep pan, so it should be more than 4 quarts. So the parts stored by me, they won't take automatic transmission fluid, so you'll have to do some research on where you can take your old used fluid. But for me, it's nice to have a feline because I can use this for a fluid container. So now I got all the old fluid out the pan. I need some fluid to flush through the system. And so what I'm going to do is, this is some newer fluid that I have, and this is some old fluid. It's not contaminated, it's just old fluid that I dumped when I changed the torque converter. So I'm going to filter this into my little dispenser, and I'm going to put all this back into the pan. I'm going to start the car up and let this fluid kind of like cycle through the system to take all that pink stuff out. All right, this is what I'm using to dispense my transmission fluid. You know, it's just one of these like little things you normally use for landscaping. It's real convenient, and I have a low car dipstick, and the entrance won't fit a funnel. So the low car gives you like this little adapter piece to attach to a funnel. I just use this. It's more time consuming, but it's a lot cleaner. All right, there's a couple of ways you can drain your fluid. Like I said, I was removing the line from the radiator, so I've already got a break in the circuit. So what I'm going to do is put both these lines in this container. I'm going to start the vehicle, let it run. This will fill up to a certain amount. I'll stop it, switch to another container. And so once I get maybe one of these filled, I have some old trans fluid that I'm going to use to just try to flush all this pink nonsense out of the system. And it's just rinse and repeat until the fluid that gets put into this container is the color of regular transmission fluid, that, you know, that nice dark red color. So I'm gonna get this set up, start the car, and let this fill. So what I want to do now is pull these out. Look at the color of the fluid. Looks better. But we're still going to do some more flushing with this. All right, what we're going to do next is some clean fluid in here. Let's go over the new fluid that I'm going to use. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Now, it is recommended from Ford that you put Mecron 5 in your 4R70W. Now, there has been documentation online, old forums, YouTube of people using multi-purpose, multi-blend, or multi-vehicle, whatever you want to call it. They've run this in their Mustangs without issue. Now, Valvoline does claim this meets all the specifications, yada, yada, yada. I don't know, some people theorize that they didn't want to spend the money to get it OEM certified. I don't know. Mecron 5 is like $9 a bottle. You can get it cheaper if you order it online through Amazon. I think you get a case of 12. Last time when I installed my Circle D torque converter, that's what I did. And when I rebuilt my transmission, I did the same thing. So if you got the time to wait, then yeah, you can get you some Mecron 5 at a pretty decent price. I'm going to try something a little bit different. Like, I've chatted with a couple of different people who use multi-vehicle transmission fluid. Although they weren't like high horsepower cars, they haven't had any issues with them. So I'm going to try this, but also I'm going to add a additive. Now, you know, this lube guard is almost just like a friction modifier. So one of the differences between this Max Life and Mecron 5 is the viscosity. You know, I think Mecron 5 has a higher viscosity, and Mecron, or this Max Life multi-vehicle, has a lower viscosity. So by adding a little of this, I'm hoping to help increase the viscosity because it is a friction modifier. So at the end of the day, my plan is to do a 6R80 swap on this next season. So I'm just going to see how long this will last. You know, if worse comes to worse and something happens with the transmission, then I'll just go grab a V6 4R70W and throw in here like I've done in the past. So let's add this to the trans, but first let's pop the filter on the let's pop the plug on the trans pan and take a look at the color of the fluid that's in there right now. All right, this is after 4 flushes, I want to say. Looks a lot better. Don't mind the foam. That just happens when, you know, you have an air leak. But I think it's looking pretty good. Let's do a different test. All right, so that's the old stuff that I've been flushing. This is the new stuff. I think I need one more good flush, I would say. So each time I use this, that's a gallon, so that's 4 quarts every time. So that's with the new and the old stuff, I believe 16 quarts altogether. So looks pretty good right now, but I still think there's a slight hue in it. So we'll do it a couple more times. right, this is my final flush, and I think we're good. Yeah, that looks a lot better. So up next, I'm just gonna reattach the lines. I'll check the fluid level, and then I'll add this additive to it. All right, last step is to add the fluid, and I'm going to add this friction modifier. Now, just to be 100% with y'all, I am not recommending that you do this. This is just a little experiment that I'm doing. Whether you do it or not, it's on your own dime. You know, if it breaks on me, then it's entertaining for you, I guess. So let's add this in here, and we'll take it for a test ride. All right, got the car back on the ground. We need to start the car, get the fluid warm, check it, and see if we need to put more fluid in there. Oh, don't mind that. I'm just doing some maintenance on the Volvo also. V8 Volvo, love that car. I digress, but yeah, let's get a cold start going on this, and we'll check the fluid. All right, let's cold start, so let's try this E85 cold start. Take one. Take two. Now, pretty soon I got a video coming out that I'm going to go into details of what to look for if you want to do remote tuning. But my man Decipher has this car idling and driving like it's from the factory. Now, if you know anything about 94, 95 strategies, the C-Baza does not like cams. You know, especially in the early days when guys are throwing cams in his car, they're having all kind of like idle issues. The car's stumbling and falling flat at stoplights. My man Decipher has, like I said, got this car to where it rides like a factory tuned car. So big shout out to him. We're gonna let this warm up. Now I do have dumps on this car, which they're closed right now. I'm running Flowmaster, I believe these are 44s, and the neighbors don't like me, but yeah, my neighbors don't, not all of them. You know, we got some Karens around here who are complaining about noise, but whatever. I pay my tax dollars just like they do. So we're gonna let this get up to temperature. But before we do that, just real quick, let's just throw it in gear and see what happens. All right, let's get this first ride going. First ride post filter flush. Gotta throw on my daddy glasses, so we'll take it easy for a second.
All right, we got the tune reloaded. Let's see if she acts a little bit better. Still a little lean. Probably gonna have to throw a little bit more fuel at it. Shifts are good. Cruising along, everything is cool. So I do have a leak on the water pump, one of the bolts. Puddle of coolant. Might have to, and it's puddling up on the timing cover side. So I gotta fix that. When I get to this gas station, I'm gonna just throw like 5% fuel across. Car wash slap. All right, let me stop this. Send it to my tuner, and then I'm gonna add 10% more fuel across the board on the mass airflow transfer, just to see what happens. All right, we got the added 5%. Stopped at the car wash. Making pretty good time, 7 o'clock. Fuel still isn't exactly where I would like it. That's okay. Gotta put daddy glasses on. Yeah, much better. Feeling wise. So next thing I gotta fix is the leak on the timing cover. Now unfortunately the water pump to timing cover seal is fine. The leak is coming through the bolt and on the back side of the timing cover, if that makes sense. I don't have a issue with coolant getting into the oil, so that's good. But having a leak in your cooling system, especially in the summer, is no fun. Not allowing the system to fully pressurize. So I'm not out here to really get on this car. I'm more concerned about how it's going to shift. pay attention to my my wideband. For whatever reason, I'm pretty sure that I cleared the fuel trims by having the battery disconnected for so long. But I had to upload another tune and give it 5% more fuel. Seem to like it. Although I'm not really paying much attention to it right now. Kind of got the cruise control going. So looks like the dash pod's got to get tweaked a little bit. Idle's really not dropping much. Unless I come to almost a complete stop. The one thing that I wanted to see is, of course, the temperature is going to increase as it builds boost. You know, that's more temperature with the turbo. But as I cruise, the temperature drops. So I'm getting good airflow. Really likes the changes this year. I can already tell. No traction, but she still likes it. I know y'all want to hear some chop, so let's get some chop going. The one thing I don't like is my coolant temperature should be kicking down. So that leak, coolant leak, it's not really helping the coolant system. As the car was idling, the car should have dropped down to under 200 with the car idling. She didn't. Let this guy go. This a success. Finding out some small things about the car. Did some pulls. The transmission pressure should have went up to about max. Didn't break any lines, so that's a success. The trans temperature is still nice and low. As I continue to drive, it's going down. The real big thing out of this test drive is the coolant system. Got to get this under control. I got to fix that timing cover leak, which I don't feel like taking that all back off, but it's got to be done if I'm going to put any kind of mileage on this car. So, hey, I appreciate y'all watching the videos. Stay tuned. There's more stuff coming. And until next time, God bless.